It's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We're going to be talking about Michael Thompson's win at the 3M Open at TPC Twin Cities this weekend. We're going over our DFS and betting picks for the WGC event at St. Jude's Invitational this week, and we're also capping it off with the birdies and bogeys of the week. So let's get into it. So Michael Thompson got it done this weekend with a 7-wood in the bag. That's going to be this.
I didn't even notice that.
I didn't know that at all.
It was either 7-wood or 7 hybrid. I forget which, but
it's like the heaven
but
wood.
I saw a tweet about that he was just that he was using a 7-wood.
It's like the Webb Simpson has like 3 hybrids or something like that in the bag or something.
I don't know
like
if he's
crazy.
if Simpson still has one of those, because I feel like he used to have like a 6 hybrid or something in the bag.
Yeah, or something like that.
Crazy like that when he won the Players.
He had he had like I think when you won the RBC, he had like a 5 iron, which is his lowest iron. Like he had like
5
hybrids.
Hybrid?
Dude. He had 5 iron, then like he went to hybrids.
Oh, and then he went to hybrids.
You made me just like Google like what's in the bag Michael Thompson, and like he has a putter that he's used since he was 16.
Really?
I saw that. His dad won it.
That's kind of cool. Jordan Spieth is like the same thing. Like putters that he's been used for like forever.
His dad won it in a scramble for work, like when he was however old.
Yeah,
and he's used
16 years ago.
A G410 7-wood, which is like
that's so.
He prefers it because it like launches higher than like hybrid.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, but what happens when you're in the rough? Like in a bad lie, you just don't.
You don't use it.
But like you use you use like a 6 or an 8.
I guess I don't know.
Only other people I know that use 7-woods are women at country clubs.
He said my ball striking isn't that great. I need a little bit of forgiveness.
Yeah, there's somebody in the bag room that has a like a set of like 6 M6 hybrids.
Really?
Like there's so many of them in the bag.
Oh my God, that's like I mean it just happens.
I mean that's old man golf.
Yeah.
But obviously he got it done. Do you guys see like the 40-yard bunker shot he had on?
Yeah, that was sick.
Save par, I think.
Yeah.
I can't say I would be able to do that.
I suck.
That's like the hard shot in golf
I'm really good at like bunkers around the greens, but like if you get me in a bunker that's like longer than like 50 yards, I can't do it.
But it wasn't like a fairway. It was like
50 yards. Longer than like if you're in a bunker, like a long bunker shot, it's not
long
good.
bunker shots are really hard.
Not longer than 50
I wouldn't
yards.
call it a fairway. It wasn't a fairway bunker. It was like a greenside bunker, but it was pretty far away.
Oh yeah,
which
that's a tough shot. Yeah,
just crazy.
Whatever. So this was his first win in 7 years his last one was a 2013 Honda Classic. So honestly, kind of good to see. I think Shane Bacon like tweeted something like it's like finally good to see like someone who actually cares about winning and like who gets off the last green and is like emotional because like wow, it's been the first time in a while that I've won.
Yeah, because everybody else
everybody else who won just been,
DJ
like,
walking
golfers.
off. Instead of DJ walking off like this is great, number 21. Like
Daniel Berger the first week
when
he won was emotional because like that was
right. Yeah, but he's still a very good player. Like he's still at the top.
Yeah, but other than that, everybody who had
player.
won, it was just kind of like
yeah,
you
like
just won another one.
Wins. Yeah, they just won again. So I think it was nice. I mean, the field was kind of weak, but I think it was nice to see that.
Which we kind of expected. We kind of said last week. We said someone random could win this week, or someone like with not as big of a name could win this week.
Whichever. It is a little. I mean, he did have a TA at the RBC a couple weeks ago, but like, and
still,
he's been like up and down. So it is nice to see like a rando play well. The big speaking of randos and like big names, the big names played awful this week. I mean, Casey, Fleetwood, Koepka, Bubba, all missed the cut. DJ was like 7 over the first day, and then he withdrew.
DJ is like
withdrew with a back injury, which I'm like not sure if he was an actual injury or if it was just like.
Well, he's back in the field this week.
Yeah,
so
I'm assuming he just played like pretty bad,
and he's like, yeah, no.
Maybe he might have. I feel like he wouldn't have just like withdrew after that. I feel like he tweaked. He might have like tweaked his back.
I mean,
I was gonna say he probably did something to it and was just like, it's not worth
precautionary. Yeah, it's exactly because like considering also maybe he's just like I need to figure something out.
He would have had to go.
He probably had to figure
10 under.
Probably had to figure something out. Yeah, 10 under. And like you had to figure something out after shooting like 80 the week before. Like you had to do something.
I mean, the week before was also brutal, but 80 is also worse. But
I mean, the only big player had a pretty good week was Tony Finau. Like once again, had another good week.
I mean, as you've put down here, the Puerto Rico curse.
This like I was like I couldn't watch. I was at work, but I was like catching up on the score on my phone. I'm like it was Tony Finau's tournament to lose pretty much at one point, and this makes me even believe more in the Puerto Rico curse.
I mean,
He couldn't win this
he
tournament.
plays well like after like through 3 rounds, and then like he gets to the last day,
Yeah.
and it just like doesn't really happen for him.
I just think the Puerto Rico curse is real. It's so real.
I think Thompson ended up birding another one, so it didn't matter. But like he needed the eagle on the last hole to like tie like 17 under or something like that. Par 5 last hole, like reachable in 2, and he literally just pulled his driver like all the way to the left. And I'm like, well,
he was leading at like like hole 8 or something like that, hole 6 or something like that on the final day. I'm like okay, like he could end the curse. Like, so all I'm thinking about is the curse, and then I saw like Barstool like Riggs like tweet like I'm rooting for Tony Finau, and I'm like, and then I post on the pin account like have you ever heard of the Puerto Rico Open curse?
Yeah, cause
like it's just it's real.
I try to put in perspective like how good of a golfer he is, and like he hasn't really won. He has 36 top 10 finishes in his career, 6 second place finishes, and he's earned over $18.5 million on the course, and he only has 1 win.
I was seeing some stat that he had 31 top 10 finishes like in a certain span, and the next guy in that span was Tommy Fleetwood with like 16.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think he has like I saw last, or maybe it was the week of Memorial. I think he had like he was like leading after one day. He's like, or he was leading after 36 holes. I'm pretty sure, or 54 holes, and they said. His leads after 54 holes, he's like done it 5 times. He finished like second or T-second like every single time. Like he's like that close.
I mean, you got to think that
crazy.
Him or Victor Hovland, like just the way they're playing golf right now, are going to win it.
They're going to break
event.
out. But
I have a feeling that the Puerto Rico curse is going to get broken during a major. I feel like.
That'd be. I mean,
I feel like one of them's going to win a major like one year, and it's just going to be like that's going to break the curse.
I was going to say if it was broken this week, Finau had a new caddy this week. I was saying maybe the way to break the curse is new caddy.
Get rid of your caddy.
Get rid of your caddy after the last week and get a new caddy. Like that'd been wild if he won this week.
I mean, I don't think it's as prominent for Hovland as it is Finau. I mean, yes, Hovland has finished like very close to winning.
No, they're gonna win.
Like it's also only been
like a rookie year.
Yeah, it's been a year, but and like Finau is like the whole thing is crazy. But like he should win again on tour. Like if he doesn't win again on tour, it's very disappointing. But
yeah.
He's good enough to win.
I mean, this week we also actually have the Barracuda Championship.
Oh, we do.
Which is where Colin Morikawa got his first win, I believe.
Oh.
Right?
I have no clue what the field of that's going to look like this
week.
Well,
Michael Thompson was going to be in that field.
But he's just because he wins.
And he has 2 extra years on tour. He's in the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship.
And the Masters.
And
no, he's in next year's Masters. Not this year's Masters, next year's Masters.
Yeah, which is, that's crazy.
It is weird.
Also, this year's Masters and next year's Masters are, 5 months apart?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's going to be kind of crazy. And then obviously this week we have the WGC event, which is,
that's the main event. That's the event we'll be
the Barracuda
betting on.
Saying that like 40 something of the top 50 players in the world are in the WGC this week. Like the Barracuda field's not the worst.
No, it's not bad at all.
Like Ryan Moore is a favorite at 16-1. Russell Henley, Brandon Steele, Alex Noren, Patrick Rogers, Sam Burns,
it's all actually really good
Jonathan
guys.
Vegas, Taylor Gooch, Leto Griffin,
all those guys. Cameron Tringali.
Yeah, Pat Perez.
So guys we've picked before too.
Yeah, Tringali, Will Gordon. It's a pretty good field for saying that like the top players aren't really in it. Almost as good as last
this week,
field.
WGC, when we're doing our picks, like we can't miss the cut, which is perfect.
True. Yeah, true. Yeah, we are going to go 100% this week.
We're 100% cuts made. Like shout us out. We're going to go 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed your money back, which you don't
watch
pay
watch all of our guys withdraw. Like,
I guess that's the only way you can miss the cut is withdrawing.
Speaking of withdrawing, Tony Romo played in the Corn Ferry event this week and withdrew after the first round with a wrist injury. And like we were talking about this right before the podcast, like if you're gonna give like a guy like Tony Romo a start and somebody's gonna like not get to play in the Corn Ferry Tour because of it, like I'm not a big fan of that.
I don't like that either.
I don't get what the big deal would be about just adding one more guy to the field.
Exactly, yeah, neither do I.
If you really want to add Tony Romo,
if you want to give him the exemption that just add another player.
Like the field should be determined, like players that qualify for the field should be determined before, and then you can add like Romo and like Steph Curry if he wants to play or something like that.
For sure, it's just like annoying, like whoever like the guy who was supposed to make it for sponsorship exemption, but like didn't make it because of Tony Romo, like, and Tony Romo withdraws after like the first round. That's like
it's kind of tough. You gotta be just fortunate.
That's a Corn Ferry talk for the week.
Also, there's like new travel, restrictions were eased for the international tour players, which is kind of interesting to me considering the MLB news that's been coming out. Just I feel like it's kind of weird that they're easing up on it. I get it because golf, is everybody's from all over.
Right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think they were always going to do this. And saying that we're 2 weeks away from the PGA Championship, the first major of the year, I think that's
it makes
kind of
sense.
why that goes.
Yeah, that's true.
They're probably doing this because they'll probably come over, they'll get a test.
Because I think Lee Westwood's hosting the British Masters next week or some reason or something like that. If he wants to play in the major, which he's qualified for, he would
I'm trying to think who else
14-day
from Europe or Asia.
Well, Stenson's playing this week for the first time.
This week, yeah.
I don't know if he's been here the whole time, but he's playing this week for the first time.
He has
and
I think Stenson lives in.
He's played. No, this is the first time he played
Florida.
since the lockdown.
Yeah, it is the first time he's played. He's the first time he's
Why
in the
do
field.
I feel like I took him in a DraftKings 1 week?
Probably took Justin Rose. Basically,
You picked Henrik Norlander last
yes.
week.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
They're both Swedish.
I'm pretty sure Henrik Stenson's
No,
played.
he's literally. I literally was doing my research.
Yeah, no,
he
has
not played.
Interesting.
There's a bunch of other guys too. Who else was it? I literally saw it yesterday.
I'm not sure,
not
but
really sure, but we had Fleetwood last week, obviously.
Yeah, Fleetwood. Yeah,
Fleetwood finally made the return. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like it's warranted for them to do that just because the major's coming up, but at the same time, don't want to ease up and have what happened to them.
I mean, whatever. This is all based on negative tests. So if you get a negative test result, so it's not like you're bringing in COVID with you.
I guess that's true.
No,
and there's
and the rest of the world is much better off than we are right now.
Well, yeah, obviously.
COVID.
Well, yeah,
much better.
The Marlins have more positive COVID tests on their team than the whole country of New Zealand.
All these guys the only thing is all these guys live in Florida, but they're not really going back, so it's doesn't make a difference.
And
that's also true.
They shouldn't be going back to Florida.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back to Florida.
Oh
and
Marlins.
it's nice that we're actually just 1 week out from a major finally.
Sure.
When was the last major? Was it when Shane Lowry took the
Open?
The Open. That was kind of a boring major at the end, just because who wants to see Shane Lowry win?
I guess.
I mean, he played well though. And
but
Koepka was yelling at JB Holmes.
The only problem about that tournament was Rory was supposed to be
yes,
the main
Rory was supposed to win
and
and he got
just got cut.
He missed a birdie putt on the last day, got cut. It was
wasn't he 7 over on the first day or something?
Yeah,
he
did
not
play
play well.
The first day.
Did not play well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that always happens where people the media is really high on somebody, and then they just
I mean,
don't do
for
well.
us in the States too, watching that, watching the Open's a little tough, just time difference. And stuff.
I don't know. I kind of like getting up in the morning and watching it.
Well, speaking,
I remember I watched the opening tee shot at 4 a.m. when I was
really?
Yeah.
Speaking of the media hyping people up, I feel like last year the media hyped up Brooks Koepka before all his majors, and he delivered, but he's not playing that well right now. Do you think he'll actually do well at the PGA this year? In a week, even though he's not playing very well.
I think he's going to treat.
Honestly,
I think he's going to treat this week as a warm up.
It's going to be.
I think he is.
I think it's going to be the most telling sign of whether Brooks Koepka just hasn't been trying or not. If he actually comes out next week and does well.
That's true.
But if not, then it's just
Well, I don't think he's not been trying. I think he's just trying to figure his game out. Honestly, I think the last 2 weeks might have been good for him in terms of he's figuring his game out. Maybe this week he plays finishes top 20. If he finishes top 20 this week, I think he's gonna play really well next week. Because I think he's gonna
how many players on the field
this week?
Yeah,
78.
78. Okay, that's not.
I think if he finishes top 20 in a field like this, a good field, I think he'll play well next week. That's just my prediction, though.
Yeah, I agree. If he's treating this seriously like a warm up week,
I literally think it might be warm up because I think he won this tournament last year. He doesn't need to win tournaments again if he doesn't want to.
Honestly, also kind of in preparation for next week, there's gonna be more VIPs and spouses apparently are allowed inside the ropes this week. So you're gonna see more people inside the ropes.
I would imagine it'd be the same at the PGA.
Well, yeah, that's why they're probably doing it because
just test it out.
There's gonna be more people at the PGA. So
right. Okay. Interesting. And that's at TPC Harding Park, which would be
that video that we posted.
That video was so
cool.
We retweeted it on Twitter at the Pin Eye Pod.
Got chills watching that.
Yeah,
it was
the sickest thing I've ever seen.
All the greatest PGA moments in the PGA. It was it was so cool to watch. And watching that no major championship golf is back. It'll be fun. Awesome. I'm looking forward.
Who's got
to
the PGA? What CBS does.
CBS does. Yeah.
I think they have all of them.
No,
now.
it's like TNT and CBS, which is kind of cool.
But
Like I remember EJ was calling it one year.
Yeah.
Doesn't ESPN, NBC have the US Open now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ESPN does the Masters, but like Jim Nantz is still like on the call. So.
Yeah. Jim Nantz, like Laverne, they're all on the call still. Yeah. Like this is like they just like hot bringing guys in. This is like SVP in the booth or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Andy North
when
SVP.
What's the caddy?
Michael Collins.
He's always on the course.
Yeah.
He might be on the course for other people too, though.
Yeah,
for like
I'm
CBS.
Sure.
Anyway, before we get into our DFS and our betting picks for this week at the WGC event, we have a Monday hypothetical, even though it's going to be Wednesday when we record this, but we post them on the Instagram. Posted this week. You've been selected to play in a Pro-Am. Which pro are you picking to play with? What do you think?
This was a tough one. I put down. I'm trying to think who I put down. I put down Matt Wolff potentially, just because like he's our age and like I think he'd be fun to play with.
Matt Wolff would be fun, yeah.
I put down Phil because like I don't know, side bets with Phil.
Phil could be fun. I think Hovland would be fun.
Who was the third one?
I don't know. Hovland reminds me of like Rory. Like there's like kind of like dad jokes, like corny jokes.
No, Hovland's literally our age.
I still think he's that kind of guy.
Yeah,
from what I've heard him talk, I think he's that kind of guy.
The third one I said was Bryson, because maybe he can like fix my golf swing.
Bryson.
I wouldn't want. I honestly wouldn't want to play with Bryson. Probably. I don't know why. I feel like it'd be kind of cool, but I feel
he'd be taking it too seriously.
I don't want to play with someone who's like. I might want to play with Phil, just because like I think it'd be really fun and it'd be fun to watch someone like really good. But
I don't know.
Really
I think seeing Bryson in like a Pro-Am like type of situation, like he'd be just like letting it loose, like bombing it like every time.
I think Phil's the good choice here. I agree
because
his like personality, he like markets himself to like to the fans, like, and I think he would keep it up in a Pro-Am where like where it's like he wants everybody to like him, and he would like treat you like
he would have fun, like he would treat you like one of his like buddies. He would have fun, and he's Phil, like you wouldn't pass the opportunity to play with Phil, and he's like
let's see what some of the
shots are crazy.
All right, one guy
said Ricky be good
Rory, too. Ian Poulter, and Tony Finau.
Ronnie had Patrick Reed in his.
Patrick Reed's one of Ronnie's favorite players, apparently.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, no, I think he said something about Patrick Reed on one of our posts before too, and I was like,
what would you
like Patrick Reed?
What would you do if you had Patrick Reed in your group, pro?
Honestly, he'd probably be like a somewhat nice guy.
He'd probably
be a nice dude.
But what if he's a dick?
I don't think he would be though.
Yeah, neither do I.
In a Pro-Am, I think he'd just be like.
I don't know. I can just see him just like not talking to you at like practice round. I don't know why.
Kevin Kisner was a popular
choice.
Kisner
would be a good one.
Obviously, yeah.
That's
I think Justin Thomas would be good too.
Justin Thomas.
You can't really go wrong with like I would play with any pro.
Can't.
Like, but like I guess if you had to choose.
My dad played one at Bay Hill. He played like Sam Saunders, which is Arnold Palmer's grandson. He's like nicest guy in the world. Like he was like perfect. Justin Rose would be really he was really nice. I saw him; he was really nice.
Your dad technically could have picked Tiger, right?
Like there was like they're the first pick. They had the first pick, but it was like sponsor and like
they had to pick the sponsor.
So did number two pick Tiger?
Was that was the Arnold Palmer Invitational, right?
Yeah, I think
picking Arnold Palmer's grandson at the Arnold Palmer Invitational was like pretty cool.
Well, I think it's like his son's like sponsored by the company they're partnering with, so like they had to kind of pick him. But like also I feel like I think the Rory and like Tigers and like Rickies like they're already like picked in the beginning. Like they're already like picked ahead. Or Phil, I think Phil was there too.
I mean, I guess I would rather play with Tiger than Phil just because it's Tiger.
It is Tiger.
But
if I had opportunity,
but who would I have like
more fun with
like a second time around? If I I'd go Tiger first, but if I was gonna go somebody the second time, I'd go Phil probably.
If I had to pick with play any pro, like a Pro-Am or anything to play with, I'd pick Tiger. But if I'm like talking about purely having fun on the golf course, Phil is like the guy for sure. Phil is definitely the guy.
Same. Okay, all agreed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now into the course preview.
Right. So
course preview correspondent Greg Catalano.
WGC-FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Another really good field this week of I think 45 of the top 50 players are playing this week. As we mentioned before, it's a 78-player no-cut field. The defending champ Brooks Koepka.
Guaranteed to make a cut. Get your guy on the cut.
Yeah, guaranteed to make cuts this week. We're going to go 100%. We're at TPC Southwind, par 70, 72, 37 yards. Bermuda greens. And interesting fact, since 2004, 5,000 balls have been hit in the water. So this is actually.
Is there a stat for like avoiding of like water avoidance?
There's a stat for everything. More balls have been found in the water here than any other course. So this big water ball course. Only one winner finished worse than the 16th in the field in strokes gained off the tee. So hitting fairway is gonna be important this week.
Mm-hmm.
Thin fairways, so you want to be accurate. There's 8 par 4s over 450. There's only 2 par 5s. They're both reachable in 2. So key stats: strokes gained off the tee, as I just mentioned. Strokes gained putting this week is actually important. Strokes gained ball striking, which is always important. Just kind of partnering that one with strokes gained off the tee, I think would be good this week. And par 4s gained 450 to 500. And then just like past winners, Brooks Koepka won last year. This was previously the St. Jude Classic before last year, so Dustin Johnson's won twice, I believe, in the past like 10 years. Daniel Berger won 2 in a row, 2016, 2017.
That's kind of wild.
Harris English, another winner.
So if there's no stat for water avoidance, but there is bogey avoidance, and Terrell Haddon's
But yeah,
number
like
one,
sick.
because he's just like, I feel like he's that like, I feel like that's a very European style of golf, avoiding bogeys.
Oh, it is. No, I think we talked
Nick
about
Barr,
this before,
yeah.
actually.
And then Bryson's 2, Webb 3. You know, a lot of the top guys.
Like when you go to like birdie average and like bogey avoidance, it's usually like the guys who are playing the best.
Yeah, that's
They're ranked
fair.
up there. So.
And then
High salary guys we like this week.
I said one. I mean, I like Bryson this week as a high salary guy because I think he's 3rd or 4th in salary,
He's
which
third.
is like he's 3rd.
Third.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is like
Who's the top this week?
John Rahm.
John Rahm,
Which makes sense because he literally like
Rahm and Rory. Yeah.
literally like Rahm's like number 1 in like strokes gained off the tee, like strokes gained approach or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
but
he's
it's hard to drop 11.5 on somebody.
Honestly,
in
I think this is the
DraftKings.
first week that strokes gain approach like wasn't in my key stats.
You put ball striking, which
But that's
is basically
not the same thing. Ball striking counts off the tee too.
I guess.
okay.
But
I'm still using strokes.
what was I saying? Yeah, but I think Bryson is good this week because 11,000 is not that bad. That sounds crazy, but for Bryson, who is, I feel like, as crazy as it sounds, that's a little undervalued just because he had a bad week at the Memorial, and I don't even think you can really
have
take
that
the
bad of a week. You just had one bad hole. That took him
yeah,
out of the
and
cut.
I think they're undervaluing what he has done for the rest of the time.
I feel like if Bryson doesn't have that one bad hole, he'll like finish in the top 20. At that
Possibly,
tournament.
yeah.
I mean, like +5 is like 15th or something. I said Patrick Cantlay, which I like a lot, but he's at 10-1, which is like once again like kind of undervalued for his player, just kind of based on the field this week, I guess. He always seems to play well. He's 4th in birdie average, 8th in strokes gained tee to green, 6 strokes gained total. I don't know. He's a pretty good player. Consistently scores. I feel like he plays well in good fields. I don't know.
I think Tyrrell Haddon's also a pretty good one.
Yeah,
Tyrrell Haddon.
He's a little bit lower. He's actually
you
9.7.
said you said bogey avoidance and
Yeah.
like talk about hot player. Tyrrell
Which
Haddon's
whatever. We'll
pretty
get
hot.
to him later because I picked him somewhere.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of high salary guys this week that you can't really go wrong with. I feel like.
And then last week, I mean, our picks were,
Okay.
you know, we were like 50-50 pretty much.
We had like a
We
couple
had
top 20s.
good picks, and we also had some guys who got cut. I had Seb Straka, who had a T18 finish.
Yeah, and Harris English also had a T18
Yeah.
finish, who I had. Hadley got barely cut, which was disappointing, but like he was a low salary.
You were
guy.
really low on Sam Burns for whatever reason,
Yeah, I don't know. why.
T32.
and he had a T32, which isn't
Isn't
pretty
Not
good.
good, not bad.
bad.
You're
Yeah.
like pretty low on him though.
I don't know.
So yeah, I mean the picks were decent last week.
Which honestly, like my own personal lineup finished in the money.
Right.
I picked what's his name? I'm already blanking on his name. The random guy.
Richie
who's for-
Wierenski.
Yeah, I picked Richie Wierenski and like.
By the
in my
way, one of
lineup.
our listeners is the cousin of like Richie Wierenski,
Yeah,
which is the
which is
most
interesting.
random thing of all time. But
Yeah,
like, he
I
commented on
put
our
him in
post.
my lineup like randomly, and he was like carrying me through the week, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, what he finished like
my
2 or
top
3?
my top salary guy Casey got cut, and he was the only one that got cut in my lineup. And then like my bottom salary guy finished in like 2nd place.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get a guy that's like low salary like that finishing like that, like I had Kevin Streelman one week when he finished I think T2, and he
Right.
probably like low 7,000s, high 6,000s.
And speaking of Kevin Stroman,
Speaking of Kevin Streelman, he's part of my picks this week. Since I like Bryson as a high salary guy, you're gonna need to pair him with some smaller salaries. So my first one, going with Kevin Streelman at 6,900. I feel like 6,900 is pretty low. That's what Cameron Tringale was last week, and he finished at 16 under and had like third. He was third. Okay, yeah. So I mean that's pretty freaking good. That was tied with like Tony Finau. So he's 33rd in strokes gained off the tee, 72 in approach, 72nd in approach, 71st in putting. And he's putted and ball strike really well in like the little run that he's had when he's been playing well, and that's excluding the not the work day, the Memorial where
that's still kind of an outlier.
He has T54.
He's played sixth this whole year though. Travelers, he played
like
well.
I see the Memorial as an outlier for like everybody. I don't even consider it until we get to like the U.S. Open.
Exactly.
That's the term you think about.
That's the one to look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So other than that, he's pretty good in all the categories in this little run that he's had.
Okay, so I'll go next. I'm gonna go Gary Woodland at 8,600, and like the fact that you could get Gary Woodland under 9,000, which is like that's probably the first time this year they could get him that low. Just kind of shows you how good the field is, I guess. He's 25th in strokes gained putting this year, which is like kind of a part where he struggled like a couple years. Like putting is where he needed to be to like win, and obviously he won the U.S. Open last year because he putted sick. But he's been putting really well this year. He had a T22 at the Memorial, T5 at the Workday, and he was 9th in the Charles Schwab. He kind of lacks in strokes gained off the tee, but he's 6th in strokes gained ball striking, so that kind of just shows you like how good he is with his irons. And like I just think there's a lot of value here at this price for Gary Woodland. He seems to always play well. And at 8.6,
Gary Woodland will always have a special place in my heart for his win.
For the U.S. Open win.
Yeah.
That put
won me like $600.
U.S. Open pool. Pat was like the only one who had Gary Woodland, I think.
Yeah.
I finished in like third.
We got to bring that. Is that going to be back for the PGA Championship?
Probably.
The office football.
Yeah,
pools?
It's like an office pool. Like it's not even my dad's office, but like.
But like the website's like called Office Football Pools.
Pat and I are just like in an office pool.
It's elite.
Gotta get me on this. I want.
Did we finish like top 10 in every one that they put out?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And you only get money if you win or come in second.
Yeah,
maybe
first or second. I think.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
I think third place might get their like money back.
Gotcha.
No, I don't know. Anyway, what?
So my first pick, Abraham Answer. Kind of what Jake said. The value of him under 9,000, 8,400. Like for a guy who's like hasn't been playing as well as he was earlier in the year, but he's still like I still consider him like pretty hot. It's a great
Abraham
value.
Answer is just your guy.
He is my guy. 31st in strokes gained off the tee, 25th in strokes gained approach, T43 in strokes gained ball striking. He's not. And obviously we know he's a good ball striker. RBC Heritage. You talk about hitting fairways, hitting greens. Like he did didn't miss.
18 of 18 on Sunday.
Yeah, he missed like 7 greens all weekend. Like he doesn't miss. And he's 9th in bogey avoidance, which Pat just looked up on his computer and I saw. So, I mean honestly, at 8,400, great value, still good field, but I think he's still up on the rise.
No.
And then my next pick, I love Sergio this week. 8 out of 9 cuts, so he's playing pretty well. T40 last year, which isn't the best, like middle of the pack, but he's 15th in strokes gained on par 4s, 450 to 500 yards. Obviously he's a ball striker. 3rd in strokes gained off the tee. 2nd in strokes gained tee to green. He's 48th in strokes gained approach. I think he's 43rd in strokes gained ball striking. So he's great off the tee, which is what Jeek said. Like,
dude, he bombs the ball like very low key.
Yeah.
Like he's gained. I think besides Bryson, like he's gained the most yards off the tee like in the last couple of years than like anyone else on tour.
And talk about windy conditioning experience, like from Europe, like playing like Sergio's playing every condition possible. Like he's gonna know what to do.
Where is TPC South winds again? Memphis.
Tennessee. Yeah.
Tennessee.
I don't know if that's exactly like a windy place. Is it?
No. Oh, it said. I looked at my research. Said it was gonna be very windy this weekend.
Okay, Mr. Research guy.
Yeah, Mr. I know I'm
predicting the weather.
So, but apparently it's be very windy.
We all know how that goes.
Very windy.
I've been so bad at that.
Yeah.
I notice how I have not put the weather in the course preview the last like 10 weeks.
I just saw it was supposed to be windy, so I'll take a European guy who knows how to deal with the wind.
Sergio's been playing well this year, and like usually when I think of Sergio, I think of like his meltdowns and like him playing terrible, but like he's been good this year.
Strokes getting off the tee and tee to green is off the tee is sick, and like you talk about like the winner here hasn't like finished like worse than like 16th or something like that, strokes gained off the tee. So we'll see.
It's very important this week.
So just also one of those guys that like could easily put up like 10 over as well.
Oh, he could.
Like,
no, it's you're like he could be like right there, or like miss the cut this tournament.
Whichever he came this tournament. I'd find a way to miss this tournament. But so I'm gonna go second week in a row, or that I'm like high on Paul Casey, even though he didn't even make the cut.
Sloppy seconds for Jude.
Yeah, sloppy seconds. 7,800 for Paul Casey.
Usually.
Which last week he was like over 10,000. I mean
10,100. But it's also a bad field.
7,800. Okay, he's like the best ball striker on tour. Like, there's not even like a doubt about that right now. He for some reason,
I don't know.
He strikes the ball.
He is stats-wise,
he strikes #1 in ball striking. Like every time they mention him, it's like, wow, he's a sick ball striker.
Best ball striker on tour. Just missed the cut last week.
Always gains strokes off the tee. 9th in strokes gained off the tee. 34 from par 4s, 450 to 500. Like I said, first in strokes gained ball striking.
Jake, you're a biggest strokes gained approach guy. How come the guy that's first in strokes gained approach didn't make the cut last week?
I don't know, because he didn't putt well. I mean, that's pretty much all it makes. Like, so that's what I was.
Paul Casey's also 6th.
Like literally, if his putter just catches up to his ball striking, like he's one of the top players.
Paul Casey's also 6th in strokes gained approach, by the way.
Yeah, so exactly. Like he's just ball striker.
I guess that's fair.
Which whatever, he has not been playing it that well recently, but like at the value of 7,800, like he's a good
that's a really good value
guy.
for him.
He has like all the top ball striking stats. He's just not a good putter. And if he could figure his putter out, which maybe he can, Bermuda greens, kind of like the normal greens, I don't know. Paul Casey could be one of those guys.
Wow, he lost 3 strokes putting last week.
Yeah, and he probably gained. Really? He still gained off the tee.
I'm sure he did.
He wasn't ranked in ball striking
because he
got cut. Okay, that makes sense. Fair enough.
But he still gained a stroke and a stroke 0.1 off the tee. Like
he's hit 78% of greens, which is pretty good. That's pretty.
Like
that's not
literally
bad.
just needs the putter to catch up, and like he's one of those guys that can score well.
I don't know how you can be a PGA Tour and be that bad putting.
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, I don't think he's like actually that bad putting. Just like
one of my picks.
But some guys are like Adam Scott, like used to be a terrible putter.
Right.
Like,
one of my picks in the Skins lineup is Corey Connors, and he's like elite ball striker, but can't putt.
He's like worse than Paul Casey at putting. Like,
yeah, he's way worse.
All you have to do is fare your putter, and like you're like a
if his putter's like average this week, he might win.
Yeah.
And his putter just needs to get to average.
You saw Corey Connors at the RBC. He was showcasing his like elite ball striking, and like he's good off the tee, and then he just could not putt for his life.
Yeah, like I'm always gonna value the ball striking over the putting. I feel like you could figure out putting for a week.
I guess, yeah. Then you got Max Homa as my second pick. He's 7,200, so he's a little bit more than Streelman. I don't know why I didn't go with him first, but he's 38th in both strokes gained off the tee and approach. And his putting is actually finally coming around after he had like a couple rough weeks. He switched the putter out, and he actually gained strokes putting at the 3M Open and had a good week. So I feel like he's
following him on like Twitter. He like recently came back to Twitter.
He came back
like full positivity like now on Twitter. Like no more negativity in this like dump.
Yeah, someone was like, get better at putting and stop roasting swings. He was like, you know what? I think the guy's name was like Tyson. He was like, you know what, Tyson? I think I'm gonna do what I want.
But I kind of like I like his new approach. No negativity.
Yeah, but I like Max Homa at 7,200. He, I mean, that's pretty good value, especially.
I think he's kind of playing
coming off of last week too. He played well last week.
Exactly,
he's putting it together.
And I don't think that's the only reason why I'm picking him, but I think in general he's just kind of he's.
I love how we looked up like last week or 2 weeks ago, like how like week to week does not correlate or whatever, like with momentum, but we're still like it's just nice.
I mean, I picked the guy who missed the cut.
Yeah. Like I like having the guys who played well last week. It's momentum.
Exactly. So let's move on to our betting portion of the show. Last week, our winners are a little bit up in the air in a week like the 3M Open. I don't think
made 8 on the whole.
I don't think anybody was gonna pick Michael Thompson to win the 3M Open.
I'm kind of surprised that Doc Redman got cut, like saying everybody was high on him. But
yeah, I didn't honestly even realize that. But Glover got cut, even though he was a guy that like a lot of people were picking to do pretty well this week.
It was tough last week.
It
just
was
like just because the field wasn't as good.
I think Ben Royan was 3 under. Other than that,
then he made an 8.
Yeah. And he made 8, and he was 3 under the other 35 holes.
Now, Trev and Pat both hit their
We're
bets.
3 and 4.
We've moved to 3 and 4 after a little rough start.
Mine got pushed, and I'm chasing now, so I'm going plus 200 like the rest of the season.
1, 5, and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to get 2 points.
Yeah,
if you get a winner,
winner's helpful too.
Winner is 5.
So you just start picking like Bryson and like Rory every week.
Yeah, because
pick the guy with the best odds.
Alternate. Alternate. It's bound to happen.
It's
yeah,
not what
like
the
Bryson, Rory, Justin Thomas, like every week.
And
it's not what the fans want to hear, but it's what you need to catch up.
Yeah, it's personal pride. You're gonna win.
I like my winner this week. I might as well just go right.
Yeah,
into
you
it.
can get into
All right,
it.
so my winner this week is Tyrell Hatton at plus 2,200. He's the hottest putter on tour, first in strokes gained putting. He might just be the hottest player on tour, to be honest. 4th in par 4s gained, 450 to 500. 14th in strokes gained ball striking. His last 2 starts, he was a T4 and a T3. He's been one of the best players this year. Looking at his stats, he has not finished outside of the top 20 in any events this year. He's been one of the best players on tour.
And number 1 in bogey avoidance, as we've discovered on the show.
Honestly,
second in strokes gained approach. I can't believe you haven't mentioned
if he plays well this week, I might pick him for the PGA next week, potentially. I don't know. I think he has a major in him this year.
We'll see.
I could see it.
It's like he's not even like he's one of the best
God,
players.
I'm so
he's one of the best players on tour.
So
he's one of the best players on tour, and
I want to watch that video again.
Like he's still underrated. Like, because he's not Bryson, he's not Rory, he's not Justin Thomas, but like Tyrell Hatton's been playing like just as good as all of them.
Nobody knows about it.
I'm gonna tease the guest next week a little bit. The possible guest that we're having on. It's more just whether we want to have him on.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say he's one of the hot golf handicappers right now. So
super hot.
Super hot. I mean, he's always been a good golf handicapper, but
I will say
tease that
for D Kings, Tyrell Hatton's 27.11 on percentage apparently.
Is that a lot?
I think that's the most in the field.
Wait,
that's why I didn't pick him for DK. Do you know why? Because he's 9.7 this week. He's under 10,000. Like, just like crazy. Like, he should be over 10,000.
I mean, if he wins, then it's worth it to have him. But
6 out of 6 cuts, 5 top 10s.
Yeah, and all top 20s in every start.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I picked him. That's why I picked him outside of my.
Bang on him. Yeah, outside
of my D Kings, I picked him because.
I mean, I think he still can play well if you even pick him in D Kings.
Yeah. And then my best bet, like I said, I am chasing this week. So I'm going with the top Canadian player, Corey Connors, plus 225. I'm looking for that bonus. Other Canadian players in the field, Adam Hadwin, Mackenzie Hughes, Nick Taylor. So, like, I feel like there's just kind of like they're all kind of on even playing field here. They're all similar. They're all golfers.
Similar players, yeah.
So I feel like there's a 1 in 4 chance here that I could get
Are those the only Canadian
Those are the only Canadian players in the field. He has some pretty good finishes this year. T22 at the Memorial, T21 RBC, T19 Charles Schwab. As Pat mentioned before, 4th in ball striking, 16th in strokes gained off the tee. Elite ball striker, not great putter. But I'm chasing this week, so I'm looking for that bonus.
I like that pick. And I wanted to say last week when I had Wolf over Bubba Watson, and I said it was like a laughable matchup. Turns out I was correct because he won by like. What did Bubba Watson finish? Do we know?
Like +2, +1.
Yeah, and Matthew Wolf finished what, like?
Well, he had an extra round, so like -8, -9.
No.
Like at the cut.
Oh, at the cut. Yes, exactly, at the cut. So it beat him by a lot. And in my Golficity Bets article on golficity.com, go read that every week. It comes out every like Tuesday or Wednesday. I went 3-0 in matchups.
Tried to make a sly joke on the beginning of that document when you sent me your draft, and it was like, Todd Gurley doesn't wear 30 anymore.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley's ranked 51 in the NFL top 100.
No. His jersey number.
I know. But
in the beginning of my article, I said like slap a Todd Gurley jersey on my back or something like that.
You said slap a Falcons jersey on my back and call me Todd Gurley.
Because I went 3-0.
And then like he sent me a snap of that. And he's like, I'm like, wow, you think you're so sly? Todd Gurley actually wears number 21 this year. So
yeah, not great. Anyway, I have Hovland this week, 31-1. I feel like that's pretty good odds for a guy who's.
Hovland's that guy that one of us like has to pick every week until he wins, unless he just becomes.
Somebody
a Puerto
picked him
Rico
last week.
curse.
No, Puerto Rico curse.
He didn't play last week, but I picked him like 2 weeks ago or something.
That's fair enough. But yeah, he's 8th in strokes gained off the tee and approach. I mean, as always, he just really needs to find his putter. I feel like I was talking about that earlier with Corey Connors. Although Hovland's a more complete player than
he's
Corey
definitely
Connors.
a better putter than Corey Connors.
He's a better putter. So
I mean, early in his career, like if he finds his putter or like figures something out, like many guys do, like he'll be one of the top players in the world.
I mean, yeah, again, like I said last week, like that trio of Victor Hovland, Morikawa, and Matthew Wolff have so much potential to like be like
The next three.
the Rory, JT, and
whatever.
JT's only 26.
Yeah, JT's like still 26. Jordan Spieth's birthday was this week.
Morikawa's not that much younger than Jordan.
Spieth just turned 27. Like what?
Yeah. So
he's been around forever.
He still looks like he's like 10 years, like 12 years old.
Yeah,
super young.
So, but yeah, that's who I'm going with for the winner this week.
And your best bet?
Oh, and my best bet, going kind of on the same like path as Jeek, except it's the top Arizona State player, and it's John Rahm at -150. I'm trying to remember who else it was.
I got you right here. Casey,
Ches Reavie.
Casey went there?
Paul Casey, Ches Reavie, and Matt Jones.
And Phil.
Phil,
that makes sense.
And I feel like -150 for the guy that's like top in the field.
The only choices you had in the college was Arizona State, Georgia, and Oklahoma State. So
yeah, I didn't want to mess
Oklahoma
with either
State
of those.
you don't touch.
Oklahoma State's tough.
So yeah, I feel like that's a good one.
All right, so I'll go with my winner this week. I had Tony Finau, top 20 last year, finished T3. Knew he wasn't going to win because of Puerto Rico curse. Xander Schauffele, 20-1. 7th in strokes gained off the tee, 16th in strokes gained approach. T27 last year, so he knows the course a little bit.
Solid.
We know we can go low. Like we're going to get into that a little later, but we know we can go low. We know he's a very good player. And 21, he's still decent value for a guy who's like one of the best golfers in the world. Behind like Rahm's like plus 850, like it's like 5th or 6th best odds or something like that. So I think he has a good chance to win. I think a big name guy is going to win this week. And I'm going to kind of same route as you guys are with the best bet. Louis Oosthuizen, top South African, plus 200.
You guys both got like the extra juice in it, though.
Yeah. What do you mean the extra juice?
Like, because if it's plus 200 or above,
yeah, exactly. That's why I saw it. You finished
this one's tough. Like South Africa's tough because Louis Oosthuizen hasn't even been playing like that well.
Okay, but like he's
so what's the rankings right now? Me and Trevor have three,
and I have one.
And you have one. Okay.
So, but Louis Oosthuizen, the other guys in the field are Christian Bezendout.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I can't pronounce it. He's actually the betting favorite.
He's
actually the betting favorite.
He's probably been
plus
playing the best out of South African players.
He's been playing the best, but he's...
I mean, what's his name?
Goes
Oosthuizen's
made T28, cut T22.
Oosthuizen's made cuts, but like he's finished at the bottom of the cut. Like
T54, where were those cuts?
He's been more... He was cut at Rocket Mortgage and the Charles Schwab.
So does he play good at the...
He played good at the Memorial.
Oh, okay. We'll see.
We'll see
how this course
goes. This one's up in the air. Yeah,
Louis Oosthuizen is more consistent, and he finished T20 last year. I don't think
Van
Rooyen cut T21.
I think what makes it
T22 cut. Like if he didn't play well.
What makes
it
a good bet is that it's plus 200.
Well, yeah,
it's plus 200, and it's a big name. But it's Christian whatever his name is, Eric Van Rooyen and Sean Norris. I'm not even gonna worry about Sean Norris. I don't think he has a chance.
Watch him win the tournament.
Yeah,
I love that this week. There's like these types of bets. I love these types of bets.
But Oosthuizen's just like guy, just like hasn't done.
Dude, I'm
great
surprised.
this year, but kind of like he hangs around.
I totally thought that you being you was gonna go to Australia and pick Mark Leishman plus 200 over like Jason Day and Matt Jones.
Oh, I kind of like that.
And Cameron Smith and Lucas Herbert.
I don't know about.
I actually thought about Mark.
I was like,
but Jason Day's play well.
Trev's a Mark Leishman guy. I figured you were gonna go there. And
Jason Day actually low-key has played.
He has played well.
Decent.
He played well. He played well at the Memorial.
What happened to Jason Day though? Like
back,
he's not
his back injury. His back is like messed up.
I used to love Jason Day.
Yeah.
And he's still like one of the best.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He's still one of the best short game players on tour.
He was like throwing up or something like that one on Saturday, and he shot like 66 or something like that at Chambers Bay. It was ridiculous.
I mean, it's amazing what a back injury. Like that's why like Tiger winning the Masters last year and Tiger coming back from this and playing well is so impressive because guys like Jason Day, a back injury kind of ruined his career almost. I mean, he's trying to come back from
whole thing is crazy, but I mean, I still love Jason Day. If he plays well again, he wins the major. Great, that'd be awesome.
Great story. Jason Day and Jordan Spieth.
He was
to come back.
He was in that video. The
PGA.
Yeah, so cool. Oh my god, I want to watch that game after we finish this.
Okay, and then to first round leader. Last week we had Tringali finished T3rd, but was not the leader after round 1. So disappointing. But we're on the right track. We're on the right track.
Like one of them's got to hit.
I've been pulling out the keys.
We're knocking on the door.
So Trev picked Xander Schauffele to win. I'm gonna pick him as a first round leader. 7th in strokes gained off the tee, as Trev said. And also in WGC events, he finished T14 and 2nd. He had an opening round 66 at the HSBC, which is a WGC event. So we know he could go low. 8th in scoring average, 16th in scoring average before the cut. But since there's no cut this week, kind of works in his favor. So Xander Schauffele, first round leader, plus 2,800.
I like that. Plus 2,800 is pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Pretty good, too.
Pretty good value.
So let's move into our birdies and bogeys of the week. Who wants to? I'll start. I'll start.
No clue.
I got new irons coming today.
And driver.
50% off.
Yeah.
Because of a little connection. TaylorMade Sims. I couldn't be more excited to hit like the Sims and the new driver.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna have to hit it. Well, next time I play with you,
Pat's about to become a sponsored golfer.
Just all TaylorMade.
Yeah, you should just like patch like
your clubs.
Print out a sim thing.
Your clubs are literally nicer than mine. You have the Sim. You're gonna have the Sims.
Now they are. No,
yeah,
what the
P790s or whatever.
P790s?
Yeah, but your Sim irons.
Oh, the drive.
Are newer.
I guess.
P790s.
So I mean, they're still sweet, but like, yeah. I need new ones.
Well, that still does not make me better than you in any singular way.
I mean, last time we played, you beat me. So
I'm telling you, Pat, you should just print out a bunch of like Sim stickers and like put them all over your body.
So all I have to get the Sim hat.
Ever since I beat you in that match, like even straight up, like I have not been playing a singular good round of golf.
Okay, that makes okay.
Like,
but then I have to go back. We have to get back to Silver Mile. We have to play the scramble at some point.
Yeah,
I have to play
next week
you.
we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
And then bogey. Bogey is that like me and Jeek went to the range the other day, or like Silver Mountain's version of a range.
Made our own range.
We make our own range on like the back like 4th hole of the short course, and picking up the balls at the end. Like we have to shag our own balls.
Do you really?
That's because I bring my own balls. Yeah.
Going to Waveney, that sucks.
And yeah, we were like playing around with like new grips, and like I just couldn't hit the ball. Like it was so tough.
You would have thought Pat and I were like 35 handicaps. Like
it was.
I was out there just like shanking.
It was a developmental
just,
day.
Like, changing grips and stuff. I don't know.
It was a development. I put my driver way down in loft, and the first one I hit, I like drove the green on that hole.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what'd you? Oh, you probably had it like
10.5, and you put it down. I put it down to 8.5.
Yeah. That's like where mine's at right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mine still goes high.
Put mine down to 9.5, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Just I think 10.5 feels better.
I hit other Pat's driver. Mine's at 10.5. He has his on higher. I have mine on lower. So he has his on like 12.5. I hit mine like
12.5.
I hit like
because he hits it really low.
He hits it low, but I hit it like so high.
Dude, I put mine. I put the loft down on mine, and I hit the ball higher. I don't know how that works, but
yeah, I don't know how that works at all.
Yeah, we're experimenting. I guess my bogey of the week is my game's not that great either right now. Or like it's on off.
I wish you're able to play.
I'm hitting my irons so bad right now.
Here's the thing with us. We started out the year playing in March, let's call it like March 15th through the end of June, pretty much like 3 or 4 times a week. And then like me and Trevor at least started
I'm still
working
playing like once a week now too.
Yeah, I like you guys would play 3 or 4. I'd play like I was like playing like every single day, like because I had like tournaments and everything.
Yeah,
like that. I was playing so much.
And now ever since I started working, I just don't play that much.
3 or 4 weeks, I've gone from playing like both days on the weekend and like twice during the week to playing like almost no times during the week and like once on the weekend.
Yeah,
and like my game is just not benefited from that whatsoever.
I'm literally like I'll go with my. Bogey, I haven't played that. I played like last Wednesday. I haven't played since. I mean
that's like our collective
like,
bogey of the week.
That's the most golf we'll ever play in our life.
I know. I feel
so. I mean, it's only downhill from here.
Yeah,
true.
So that's not exactly a good thing for our games, considering we don't play well when we don't play a lot.
Yeah.
I will say when I like take a complete break from golf like in the winter and I go on like a January like trip or something like somewhere. I usually play well during that trip, which is weird. Like when I haven't picked up a golf club in like 3 months.
I mean, you still were shooting like 98.
But like they were tough courses. Like a lot of water.
I guess.
I don't know.
My birdie though is I shot 77 Hudson National, which I was
77.
Played really. I haven't been playing that much, and I shoot 77 Hudson National last week, and I shot 36 the next day with a double bogey on 17.
That was a good tidbit of small talk when your dad came through the bag room the other day. I was like,
"What'd you say?"
Heard Trevor shot a 77 at Hudson National.
What'd he say?
I don't know. Whatever was said.
I guess I'll cap it off my birdie of the week. We got major golf coming soon.
We do have major golf.
That's true. We're
check out that video that we post on Twitter.
We're coming out. Should we tell them about the shirts we're gonna come out with?
Might as well. Go ahead.
Yeah,
sure.
We're gonna come out with Spieth Greller presidential campaign 2020 shirts.
And hope that he wins.
And hope that he wins. But we were planning on doing if he won a tournament, just in general the past couple weeks.
But I guess that might not happen.
That isn't gonna happen unless he wins this week. In which case,
that'd be awesome.
That would be perfect timing.
All right, we're all rooting for Spieth this week.
Yeah,
that would be perfect timing. Because I feel like I don't know. I would wear that shirt.
Yeah,
I would wear a shirt.
Would you rather have it in white or navy blue?
I don't know. I just kind of go on any shirt.
They probably have a bunch of color options.
I feel like navy's more political.
Political? Well,
it's
a golf.
Not more political, but more like it looks like more like
more. Okay,
more
I get
official.
What you're saying.
More
official. Yeah,
sure.
Not political.
We can play around with that.
So we're next time this week we'll be talking about the preview for the PGA Championship.
Couldn't get that out.
Yeah, I was about to say the U.S. Open, and I was
because they mess up all the order and stuff.
Yeah, no, the order's
the PGA,
so messed up right now.
The PGA Championship is back. Major golf is back. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Yep, next week.
You want to cap it? Let's have you cap it off, G.
I don't know. PGA Championship next week. See you then.